We all want to see the community thrive. We want to see it being a great place to live, a great place to work. Having the Smart Towns initiative can only be a benefit to us. From a town council and county council perspective, it will enable us to look to where things need to be funded, look to what initiatives we could introduce, new systems we could put in place.
So I think to me, a smart town is kind of come in two elements. You've got the town centre Wi-Fi, which allows the town to have this kind of overview of who's visited the town, how long they've stayed, and whether they're new visitors to the town or whether they've come before.
It could enable us to gain data of certain numbers of visitors at certain points throughout the year, such as when we have a festival or the carnival or certain things and the increase in footfall.
But then there's also the LoRaWAN system and the sensors.
So the LoRaWAN system has a very wide coverage area, a number of miles. So it means that just by putting one LoRaWAN system in the town allows us to have data coming in from hundreds of different types of sensors. And this variety of sensor data allows us to build a picture of actually what's going on overall in the town.
So that could be things like sensors on bins to monitor whether they're full. Businesses can monitor things like footfall coming in and out of their premises, and a range of other more niche pieces of data which can be used to influence decision making.
I'm sure Presteigne is like many other small rural market towns really throughout the whole of the county. But we do have an issue. We have 2 payable car parks and we have a high street that has free parking, but obviously only limited spaces.
So in the town, the streets are quite narrow, and quite often large vehicles, tractors or delivery vehicles get stuck because of illegal parking on a particular corner.
If we were able to place these parking sensors on the road there, it would enable us to gather the data. We really need to look at when people are parking there. We need to look at when this is happening, and we need to get to the reason and then hopefully offer a solution to the problem. Presteigne is a town that it's really a historical town. We have quite a lot of buildings of significance. We've got the Radnorshire Arms, for example, that was established in 1616. We've got the assembly rooms, that houses our town library, and we've got the Judges' Lodgings, it's also listed, and there's many other listed houses.
But having sensors to be able to measure humidity in some of these places would be fantastic.
If we can help to preserve those buildings going forward for the future generations, that would be a really positive step.
So heritage buildings are very much affected by temperature and humidity. So using a sensor to monitor these two things can allow detection of early deterioration of the building and allow planning for repair and maintenance early rather than incurring much greater cost later on.
So the LoRaWAN sensors could help with a variety of different issues throughout the whole community. So for example, we could have flooding sensors, which obviously would be at a great advantage to those people that are in the floodplain. There are only a small number of houses in Presteigne that are subjected to the floodplain, but that would be extremely important.
So within the community, buildings and people's health are really important, which differs very much from a business need. So by monitoring the environment in which people are living allows that environment to be controlled and to have better outcomes for the people who live there.
With things like the town Wi-Fi and especially the LoRaWAN sensors, there's unlimited applications with how they can be used.
I think Presteigne has always looked at itself in being a very forward-thinking town.
But it will help us to make evidence-based decisions, which hopefully will be quicker and we can back them up to get things moving forward.
It's opened my mind up to a lot of possibilities that can actually come from collecting data information.
And the beneficiaries would be everyone really. So that would be local businesses, the town council, Powys County Council, so it would help the whole community.
I think any town that decides to go ahead with the smart town technology has a huge advantage over towns that don't. And I think for towns in Mid Wales to survive and thrive in their communities, it's so important to jump at opportunities like this where they can really make a real impact and they'll have data to show them how they can do it and the best ways to make a difference.